Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Music and Mixing. We do this each and every single Wednesday night here on Disc Jockey News, and I would like to welcome everybody. Hope everybody's doing well in the chat. If you could holler at me and let me know if everything's coming out all right. We're going to wait, as those of you who don't know, at the beginning of each show, I always wait a little bit for people to get into the chat to ask the questions before I start the entire show. Gets people a chance to be there live, because we do take some questions at the end live. And that's kind of important why we need everybody in there. So I'd like to say hello to Wab, Aaron, Disc Jockey News saying yay. Ivan, what's up? Who else is in there? Say hello to me and I'll say hello back. Reminds me of an old, what was it, Digital Underground song, Slap Me and I'll Slap You Back. For those of you who noticed, I'm not wearing headphones tonight. I've got my inner monitors that I'm testing and a mic holder for the mic. So I'm trying this out and seeing how this works. This feels really comfortable to me. I'm just hoping that it sounds well and looks better than headphones, because like nobody else on Disc Jockey News, any of the other places uses headphones. They always use the in-ears or little, whatever. So I'm trying to do this. Clark, hello Clark. Hello Robin. Hello DJ Big Dooley. Am I saying that right? Wab, I don't know if I said hello to you. I'm just trying to see the people popping in there. We're going to take a couple seconds, but yeah, this is this, so let me know what you think, all that kind of stuff. Todd, what's going on? Glad to see you made it back home. Todd is one of my students, and he took a class last week with me, and I felt it was really weird because it was more of a technical class than a DJing class. But some of the stuff we covered was kind of unusual, so it just shows that the class can be customized to whatever you need. It doesn't have to be DJing. It was more of a technical... I mean, we covered some stuff on mixing and stuff, but we talked a lot about digital and setting stuff up, and I kind of helped him kind of create a little system for himself there for when he's by himself and introducing the bridal parties with the mic and still being able to switch music with one hand. So that's something I kind of set up there. So that was like I said. So the classes are there. So if you guys are interested in it, we're definitely going to get into. I think tonight's going to be a good show. A really big shoe. That's an old. Again, every time I reference something, I realize how old I'm referencing, and it's kind of weird for me. But nonetheless, we're still going to wait just a couple minutes there. JY3 Productions, what's going on? We're going to wait like another minute, and we'll start the show. So if you are watching this afterwards and on demand, just fast forward just a little bit. We'll be there in a second, but we got a lot of stuff we're going to do just like we do each and every single week. If you're new to this, I go through the topic, and then at the end we ask questions, so you can spend time asking questions, whether it be questions about the topic or just totally something different if you want. As you see, the decks are set up, so tonight we'll be able to share some stuff here, and I'll be able to show you little things that are going on in the decks here and be able to mix and different things like that. So if you want to do some stuff like that and looking at programming stuff. So it can be pretty much anything, but we're going to save the questions till the end. We missed Halloween last week, so everybody had a great Halloween. Hello, David. I think that, if I'm correct, Howie, what's going on? I think it was Saturday, I think. I was near the end of the night, and I told the one manager, I said, I'm still feel like I'm recovering from Halloween, like 5 days later, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. It was much later. I just felt like I just couldn't recover from Halloween. But it was an interesting week nonetheless. I don't know if I know that we're going to change the topic here real quick before we jump into the main topic, but those of you who maybe watched the Samsung developers conference thingy today, they showed off their foldable phone, and I kind of think that's kind of interesting, and this is probably a show that I'm going to talk about in the future, that in combined with Apple, what they had released with their new tablets and stuff, being how powerful they are. I really think that this is all. I always like to predict this, so when it comes about, I can say, see, I told you, that there's a whole portion of the mixed DJ community, and this show is, like I said, about mixed DJs, that there's a whole portion of that mixed community that go out with just a thumb drive. They go out thumb drive, pop it in a device, and DJ from it. And for those of you who don't know, Denon just dropped the price on their SC5000s to under $1,000. So if you're interested, now's the time to get it. I wish I had that money. I would grab them instantly. I think they're incredible devices, but go check them out. But anyways, most of them come in and just pop in a thumb drive and DJ from it. Little tiny screens on some of the devices, different things like that. But I really think with the power of the new tablets and different things like that, I think we're going to see a community in 3 years or less that instead of going out with just a thumb drive, they're going to go out with their tablet, and that tablet is going to be able to integrate in with whatever devices there would be, a CDJ or an SC5000 or whatever. And I think, or DVS system, I think they're going to be able to pop that in and both have a screen to see some stuff and touchscreen and do some stuff, and also just working off the devices like a mixed DJ does. So that's my prediction coming for the future. I think we're going to be all on those. Because I think, I don't remember who it was that said something like that. They were talking to their daughter about them and said something about, that's not a tablet, that's not a computer. And the little girl was like, well, why isn't it? It's my computer. So the next generation, they don't see their tablets as tablets separate from a computer. It's their computer. So that's my prediction. And I went on my little rant there. Not a rant, but it was my prediction. So we are 6 minutes out, and I am going to start tonight. So again, kind of hold your questions till the end if you can. We got some good stuff going on tonight. Tonight, as you saw from the title of the show, is secrets and shortcuts to DJing success. Keep in mind that music and mixing, the show Music and Mixing, each and every single Wednesday night here on Disc Jockey News, is for and about the mix DJ, the DJ that earns their living from mixing, using controllers, using DVS, using CDJs, whatever. They earn their living from the ability to mix and mix well, scratching, tricks, blending, fading, all the different things. It's not just cuts and drops. It's more the person that they couldn't have that job unless they had the ability to mix. So a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about tonight, and I'll probably say this 2 or 3 times, it's more oriented towards that type of DJ. But if you're not that type of DJ, it doesn't mean you can't get stuff from some of the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight. Because I think I have some really good stuff here, okay? So keep in mind, this is again for mainly the mixed DJ, not necessarily someone who provides a music service, okay? With that said, secret number 1. Are you ready for secret number 1? Secret number 1 is there are no shortcuts. So I know the title of the show said DJ Secrets and Shortcuts, but since I had to put that in there, since that's the secret, that there are no shortcuts in this business. There are none. There are no shortcuts, but there are a lot of secrets. And there's a little difference between secrets and shortcuts. Shortcuts, when I talk about people with shortcuts, is I'll have people come up and say, can't you just find me a program that will go through and label all my songs? Can't I just join a service that just gives me all the popular songs? Can't somebody just give me this? That's the kind of shortcuts I'm talking about. There are no shortcuts. Or I went to the seminar at the expo. I know how to do this, but did you practice it? Well, no, but I saw the guy do it. That's there's no shortcuts. That's the secret. There are no shortcuts. But tonight I'm going to talk to you about secrets about being super efficient with all these things about becoming a mixed DJ, and we're going to show some examples and different things and then answer questions at the end. Secret number 1, and I think this is probably one of the biggest ones that I harp on so often, it's not even funny, is do your own work. Okay? People, again, back there, don't you have a program to do this? Don't you have a program to do that? Do your own work. Do not look for a program to do the work for you. Do not look for a program to do the mixing for you. Do not look for a program to do this. Do your own work each and every time. I can't really say that enough. When it comes to the music, a lot of people like to, and I'm going to talk about this a lot later, services that kind of just give you songs. I'm going to tell you, do your own work by going out and finding the mixes and edits that you like and that work for the places you DJ. Just don't take what's given to you. If you have a version of something, maybe find a better version. You're going to have to go out and dig. I have people like, well, I don't want to have to spend time doing that. Well, time, we're going to talk about time a little bit later, that you cannot do this without investing the time. Just like someone would invest the time to DMX lighting. With a mixed DJ, you're not doing any of that. You're DJing. So this is the thing you have to invest your time in. So take the time and look for songs, your own, what you like. The next step beyond that is that I think is just so freaking important, and a lot of people look past this. That the younger generation, they are making their own songs now, just without a doubt, on the tablets, on everything. They're making their own songs. They're making their own edits. They're making their own redrums. They're making their own everything. In this business, your songs are your resume, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So you have to learn how to do the editing of some sort. Whether you find it a version, like I found a version the other day of I Like It Like That, Cardi B song, but it was there was a couple of bridges and different things in there, breakdowns I thought were too long, and I just cut them down. Simple edits like that can make such a big difference to, instead of having, maybe 2 8 counts, you have 1 8 count or something like that. You just shorten some things down. So learn how to make your own songs, learn how to make your own remixes, learn how to make your own edits, learn how to make your own redrums. This again, I'm going to talk about later, original songs, stuff like that. As a mixed DJ, it's one of your most important things right now, that you have to make music. You're probably going to go only so far in the industry unless you have your own music, whether I'm talking about original music. Try to get something somehow, somewhere, and that helps you get known. Again, it's not about the lighting. It's not about the photo booths in this side of the business that I'm talking about. You are the product. You are the brand. It isn't, ABC Promotions is going to put on my event. No, you're hiring, Michael Joseph. That's why my company is called Michael Joseph. It is not such and such productions. When they go out and hire me, it's Michael Joseph. That's the legal name of the business. That's the brand name. That's who they're hiring. So you kind of have to, again, do your own work and be your own brand. This is one that kind of bothers me a little bit, and I hope I don't offend anybody who has previously asked my opinion on things. But I want to tell you, do not be afraid to, if you have a question or something like that, to search it in Google or YouTube or a brand forum, like a Serato or a Virtual Forum or a Denon Forum or a Pioneer Forum or whatever, a Rain Forum. Instead of just posting on your page and waiting for someone to answer, you go find out. And I'm going to talk about the importance of doing that search here in a couple seconds, why that search is more important to this next generation, what you do, than some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. Because by the time you search it in Google or send it to me and I have time to respond to you, you could have found the answer and again, done your own work. And then now you know how to do it. Instead of someone teaching how to do it, you learn how to do it through that way. Find it out, look for it. Exhaust your resources before you tap into others. Not because I'm not saying you can't help each other, but take that step first. Because the other night somebody was asking me something, and I was DJing when they were asking me all these questions, and I'm thinking, I'm working. So either I say, hey, I can't answer you, or I try to answer them while I'm working, or I ignore them until the next day. You have to think about stuff like that. When you hit someone up, are they DJing? So, I know people are willing to help. I am willing to help, and I will continue to ask questions, but make your first step doing it for yourself, hunting down that answer if you can. This one is I hope I can describe this the best I can, because this is going to be almost theoretical in a way. Being a part of the news industry with Disc Jockey News and whatnot, we go to a lot of expos and different things like that. And I hear a lot of people go to the expos going, why are the expos going downhill? They're getting less attendance. People don't value education. But their education is different, because you could take someone who went to the expo, paid the money, went to a seminar, learned something, and say, I know how to do this. And then maybe do nothing else but carbon copy exactly what that person in the seminar said to do. Nothing more than carbon copy. But you have this next generation where I talk about do your own work and look your own stuff up, where they don't pay to go to the seminar, they don't pay to go to the expo, but they'll sit at home and watch through 40 or 50 videos of other people doing the thing that they're talking about or asking about, and then they'll take ideas from all 40 or 50 of those and then creatively come up with their own and be unique. So it's not that they don't value education, it's that they are taking education into their own hands in their own way, because it's just different the way each generation is. You just have to expect it. I'm an old person, so I understand, but I have trouble understanding why people forget what it's like to be a kid and understand when you were a kid how much different you were than the generation before you. So why wouldn't the generation after you be different than you? That's just it. They learn differently. Their resources to learn are different than ours. Someone who grew up prior to computers, anything you would want to know, you'd have to go to a teacher or go to a library. That's your only options. You really had nothing else than that. Now, the little questions that someone might ask in school, they can literally pick up their phone, look it up, have the answer. And it's the same way with this business. Education and information in the DJ business the exact same way. How do I do this? How do I plug this in? Where is this song found, etc.? It's all out there. So you have to kind of dig and do your own work. And I know a lot of people don't like that comparison, saying that you can get stuff at the seminars that you can't get out there. But I think a person who really is willing and John and I have talked about this hundreds of times with This Jockey News. A lot of our shows are very repetitive, to where we'll do a topic, talk all about it, and a year later have to do the same topic over again because people are still asking us the same question we answered an entire year ago, that if you would have done a little search on the same website that you're watching, you're going to find the answer. Someone else made a video and told you how to do it. So take some time and do a little research. Again, you say, oh, I don't have time. Well, again, like anything else, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get a college degree, whatever, let's say you want to get a college degree and you're working a job, it's going to take you longer to get that college degree because you can't take as many class courses as someone who doesn't work a full-time job. So yes, it is going to take you longer, but you still have to find the time if you want to. If you want to learn how to mix better, you have to take the time. It's just not going to come to you through osmosis. The same way that college degree isn't going to come to you unless you take a class here or class there, stuff like that. So the importance of doing it yourself is really important. Now, to follow that up, it's my next one, saying avoid negative people. So I had to throw that in after that because I knew I would be so passionate about that other one that I wanted to make sure that I took that from that to avoid negative people, and more importantly, that negative social media. Because what you take in, the old saying from way back in the computer days, garbage in, garbage out. If you're constantly pounding yourself with negative stuff and watching other people's lives talking smack on somebody or things like that, it's going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you in an emotional way. It's going to catch up to you in the energy you have, and I'm going to tell you honestly, it's going to rob your creativity so much, it's going to hurt. So avoid them. This is one of the things that I think is important. It's the way I look at things, is that you want to live a life, not watch someone else live a life. So a lot of the stuff with the stuff that goes online, and I am going to talk here in a minute about the importance of social media. So I'm not demeaning the importance of social media, but you have to live a life, not watch a life. And the idea of living a life is to do something so good that it makes other people want to watch you. So don't be that person that just watches. Do it so well and practice it. Make it your own. Be creative. Put that work in, so you're not the person watching other people. Other people are watching you. And that's how in this business, as a mix DJ, you're going to make your way up the ladder. It's not going to be because you just have the most lights or I have the best computer or whatever. It's going to be your work, what you physically can do. So if you put that work in and be better and show people, and again, I'm going to talk a little bit here shortly about how you can show them, but through that, that's how you're going to advance, about being someone that other people want to watch. This is something that I think is important on a lot of levels. When you go and network, sometimes you're out of your comfort zone networking and you're getting out. And networking, I think, is an important part of the entire business, no matter what type of DJ you are, networking. And when I say networking, I don't just necessarily mean so-and-so's a DJ from another town. I'm talking about in your town where you DJ, are you getting out, again, because this is for the mixed DJ. I know I say that 100 times, but it is. How many bars are you going to during the week? How many clubs are you going to during the week? Introducing yourself to managers, owners, promoters. How many times are you going to events that you don't normally do? How many times do you share events that someone else is posting is coming up? These are all important things. You have to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Get out of your typical crowd that you go out with. Get out of your typical style of music that you normally do. Get out of your typical places that you go to. Get yourself out somewhere else. What this is all about is getting out and exposure, because you are your brand. Imagine you're selling the best pizza in the entire world. How are you going to do that? You're going to get that pizza brand in front of as many people as you can. And that's the same way with this. You are your brand. You have to get out there. And that's just all there is to it. Expose yourselves to things and people different than you and different in many ways. And the flip side of that I think is really, 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 really important, I'm going to use an example on this, is that when you're out there with them and you're seeing success and you're seeing people online with success, do not, and I can say this because I fight myself on it, do not compare your success to their success. Because if you stop and think sometimes, you might be the person they envy. They might look at stuff you do and go, I wish I was doing those gigs. So you have to look at yourself because of the way social media has become. We can see everybody doing everything live instantly. Prior to all the internet, think about you doing the amount of gigs that you're doing and not knowing that so-and-so down the street is just posted this big poster about him doing something, or the girl over here doing this gig. You just know you're doing yours. You're going to look at success differently because you're going to say, I'm working, I'm busy, I'm out there, I'm not failing. I have a paycheck, I'm making a living. This is what it's about. My business is growing, I'm getting out to new cities to DJ, I'm getting out to new places to DJ. Do not compare yourself to other success. Just make your success, figure out what you want, and just go for that. We're going to take a step back here where I talked about before about practicing. You really, really, really have to make the time to get better on this, on the couple things that I'm going to mention here. These things are going to take time and effort, what I'm telling you. There's no secret or there's no shortcut to these. There's neither to these. But these are things that are, the secret is that they're crucial and unavoidable. Practice DJing. Remember, you are the thing that you're selling. You're not showing someone a video or a picture of, this is how I can make your room look with lights. It's not that type of DJ. It's not about, I have 10,000 songs. I have 20,000. I take 4 terabytes with me. I take 8 terabytes with me. It's not about that. It's about what you can do. So your practice, of what you can do is important. So take the time to practice. Number 2, this is something I think I'm going to hit further in the future, but I'm going to explain a little bit now. Make time to work on your music library. And I'm not just talking about downloading new songs. I'm talking about the songs that you have, marking them with proper names, putting them in the depending on how you like to DJ, whether you need to tag them properly with genres, whether you need to put them in certain folders, whether you need to put cue points in there, whether you need to move certain stuff out that you don't use anymore. Take time on your library. And this is something that I'm telling you, guys who are really, really successful at this, they do this every single week. Every single week, they're working on their library somehow, some way. Period. I'm not talking about downloading new songs. I'm talking about refining the stuff they have sitting in there so that it becomes a sharper, better tool. No shortcut on that. And the final one where, like I said, I wanted to go back and talk about social media and how important it is. With this business and the way it is, you cannot cut corners on social media. You need to work on posting pictures, video, mixes, sets, songs. And with the other side of that is you need to also take the time, again, there's no shortcut, to record yourself doing these things. Record yourself at the club, record your set live, record your set at home, whatever. You have to put the time in to put these things so that you can put them out for other people to see and hear what you do, because that's what it's all about. Those are the ones that there's no shortcut, there's no anything, there's no way around that. These are ones that are absolutely necessary. This is the other part of, we were talking about the music a little bit ago, that your music is your resume, okay? So it's not, again, necessarily like, this is my business, I've done this and this. The music that you play in front of people, when they hear it, that physical connection between you and them, that's your resume. That's the resume that the bar owners and club owners are going to look at, the managers, the booking agents, the promoters, all of that. They're going to look at what you're playing and how you're mixing. So you need to take time to post studio mixes, live mixes, stuff recorded at places, whatever, whether it be you have to constantly keep putting this up, but don't go, I did one, and that was 5 months ago. No, you need to be dropping stuff weekly, a song, a something. a recording from last week. Every gig you do, record it, edit it, put it up. That's all there is to it. Or every once in a while at least. If it's not every week, every couple of weeks, once a month. This is my mix for the month. This was me at such and such place. Stop back this month. I think it's really important that you kind of have to do that. Making your own music. Again, your music is your resume. So the music that you make, the remixes, the edits that you make, that's your resume. What people hear you play, that's what's most important, and you have to take time on those things. I want to get back to the music library real quick. I know this time is flying, and I'm going to try to hustle through a couple more, and then we'll answer questions, because normally that's the way we do it on the show. It's about 30 minutes or less of different things, and I believe everything just went out on me here. I lost that monitor somehow. Hold on, is it coming back? My monitor is jumping all over the place. Yes, my monitor just came back. It just kicked me off there for a second. Well, that was nice. Wasn't it a little break there? We talked about things. So we're going to talk about your music library. And this is one of the things that I actually had a talk with someone online about this the other day, and I'm not scolding people, but I want to challenge you to think about how you download songs. So many people in this industry just take what I belong to such and such a music service. They give me these songs every week. If you're not looking at every one of those songs and picking through them, it's a waste. Okay, so number one, you're just getting stuff in bundles. Number two, if you're not picking exactly what you want, not just they gave me this version of the song, go out and find the exact version of that song you want. You can't just take that and take whatever they give you. You have to find exactly what works for you. You have to dig for it. I'm making some adjustments here. So I would like to. I sat down with this person talking about how many songs I downloaded in a month, and it was kind of blown away because what I downloaded in a month is way less than what they get from their service in 2 weeks. So I said, well, okay, let's look at the songs you have. Okay, how many of those? Just look back at the last year. How many of those have you played from those group downloads out in public? And they're like, maybe one or two, but there's a few here or there, maybe 10. So you're talking that they gave you 200 songs last year, and out of those 200, you actually only played 10. Okay, that right there should tell you should look for songs that fit what you're exactly looking for. Let's say you now have that whole bunch of songs, and you go, but I always like to have them there. What if somebody asks for something and I don't have it? With a mixed DJ, you're not necessarily DJing a party, not always, but you will sometimes. You're not always DJing a party where someone's going to come up to you who paid you to do the party and say, play this song. You're going to be playing what is most popular, whether it be what's most popular in top 40 music or what's most popular in the genre that you're DJing in, hip-hop, house music, EDM, whatever your thing is. You need to look at the songs that are popular there, not just take a lump sum of things. So now let's look at the two of us here, okay? I have my list of songs that I know every song in my folders has hit a chart of some sort and become a song that is played, whether it be a top 40 song played on a top 40 station all the time, or something that's played on an urban radio station, or something that's played on an EDM station, or a playlist on Spotify, or however you want to look at that. Okay, so all of mine have been played at some point. 75% of yours have not, okay? So now you have to start mixing, and how we mix is quick sometimes. Some, the EDM DJs will play a little bit longer than the top 40 guys, but we're talking 2 minutes from the time that the first word of a song hits. You have less than 2 minutes to pick the next song, get it ready, and drop it. That's all there is to it. So if you have 200 songs there, how many of them do you know that you can play? Have you listened to them? Do you know where the first word comes in? Do you know the beats? Do you know, is there a bridge in the middle? Is there a long thing here? If you've not listened to it, is there a glitch in the song that you don't know because you haven't listened to it? All those things you have to be able to do, and you have to do it quickly in a version. Could I come up behind you, have you do a search for a song, have that song bring up 20 versions of it, and you tell me which one are you going to play? You have literally 10 seconds to tell me which one you're going to play. And then I'm going to stop you and say, okay, now that you've picked which one you're going to play, can you tell me where the song begins and ends? The words start, stuff like that. So there's no dead air and you just have a kick drum going, stuff like that. Can you tell me that? Because if you can't, then you don't know that song. and that song to you is a tool that you don't know how to use. Again, if we're talking about, carpenters and tools, you now have a tool. It's probably a great tool, maybe, I don't know, but you don't know how to use it. So there's a disadvantage to getting stuff just thrown at you like that, okay? So pick through them, whether you want to go through that service or not, but you pick through, you have to know the songs you're going. You have to know where the bridges are, the mix points, the last word of the song so you can mix out. So when that last word of that song hits, you have to hit the first word of the next song. The last one hits on 8, this one hits on 1. It has to be that way. You can't have that song ends, kick drum, 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 start the mix, kick drum, kick drum, kick drum, because you won't go anywhere. You will die that night. No one will hire you after that. So make sure that you know these things. Know your mix in, your mix outs, because when you're doing this, you have no time to preview a song. You can't go, well, I'll listen to it when I load it. You don't have that much time when you're doing these kind of mixes. And the final one here is the secrets. This is probably my favorite secret of all, that I absolutely think this is the most important secret of all. Somebody a while back did this thing, and they said, can you describe your mixing style in a few words? And I immediately knew exactly how to define my mixing style. Now, everybody's going to be different. There is no right answer to this. There is no right answer to this, so do not feel that I'm going to say there's a right answer. But this was mine. But I think that mine is a very important thing for everybody. My answer was to describe my mixing style in just a few words is just have fun. Having fun doing what you're doing is very contagious to the people in front of you dancing. It's contagious to the DJs that are going to be coming up after you. It's going to be contagious to the person who's hiring you and paying you. Having fun is I think crucial to what we do. So you got to have fun. You got to have fun. That's one of the secrets. I think you have fun. I describe what we do is our job as DJs is to celebrate with other people, whether it be celebrating at a wedding, celebrating at a birthday party, celebrating at a bar or club, to celebrate the end of a work week or whatever. Our job is to celebrate, and so people who celebrate are happy. And if you're not having fun, then you need to go do another job. There are people who do this for a living, and I'm going to tell you there are nights I go out and DJ, and it's just a paycheck sometimes. But you got to have fun, and that's something that I think is super, super important. And that's my last secret. That's all my secrets, and it's all my shortcuts that I have. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and answer some questions if you have, and that's about it.
Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJNTV Insiders.
All right, we're back. I'm having a little trouble with the menus tonight, so I apologize about that. We're on a weird menu. I'm going to try to zoom my way back up here because I really can't even see. That's wrong. See if we're back now. I don't know if we're back, if it's letting us go back on there or not. I'm still watching the feed. We're a little bit behind on the feed. Let me know if I'm still alive here. See if we're back. Let me know. I'm trying to watch the thing right now, so I think I'm back. I think it did because my software for the thing just absolutely crashed and shut down, so I don't know if I'm back. Okay, now we're going to take some questions. Thank you. Well, first, I want to thank the sponsors. If it wasn't for them, this would be just me standing here. So I want to thank the sponsors. Take some time. Links to their stuff is in the show notes below. So make sure you click on that, go visit them. Take some time to comment or send me a message. Give me a thumbs up in the feed, all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. So we're going to hit some questions from the chat. So if you've asked something before, bring it back. Bring your question back up there. on your Commodore 64 day and night. I'm not joking. I literally have a VIC-20 sitting over on the other side of the basement with all the amenities, the tape, memory recorder, the joysticks, all of that. I still have mine. So yay for Commodore, those of us who are old. Thank you guys for hanging in there as the thing just kind of died on me. Like I said, it was funny because it just all locked up when I went to commercial. So, For Real Day. Well, I don't know what For Real Day is. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We can also take topics here on future shows if you have any ideas, because pretty much all my ideas come from you guys. I think that this week's topic came from people asking me questions about stuff and me telling them that there is no shortcut. It's always my answer. There is no shortcut. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm still waiting. Robin is asking about his Commodore. Oh, he's asking about his Commodore. Okay. Sorry. I'm so lost. After that thing crashed, I went crazy. So I know this topic tonight was really, really fast. I went flying through stuff. So feel free if you want to bring it back. If you have any mixing questions, I think as far as I know, everything is still up and running. So we can still do stuff. Okay, here's a question here. I'm going to try to read it. I'm a single person, company DJ, and deploying soon for a little less than a year. How do you think I keep interactive if I have Wi-Fi? Should I be good in cases I don't? I think you're talking about looking for songs to play live, because like I said, this is mainly about a mix DJ and the club DJ and the bar DJ, the person who mixes in those sorts of things. Your connection to the internet isn't going to be that important, because your library that you have is going to be what you work off of. Some clubs you go to, you will not be taking requests at all. They won't. Your DJ booth will be in an area where they can't even reach you. So having a song they don't want, not having a song they want isn't a big deal. Plus, like I said, with this business, it's okay to say no, and I say no a lot. I really do. I have no problem saying no whatsoever. So I hope that answers your question there about is it important for the how do you think I keep interactive if I... Yeah, if that was your question, let me know, RJ. I'm not sure if that's right here. Luke says the 1000 or the SX3. That is a tough call. Wow, I love the 1000. Almost switched to the... He's talking about the Pioneer DDJ 1000 as opposed to the SX3. I almost switched to the 1000, except the 1000 is missing one thing that is very important to me. One thing only. Otherwise, I love it. I love the larger, because the 1000 has the larger platters. I really love that. But it does not have a physical curve adjuster for the crossfader. You can do it within the program, and most programs are very easy to switch, but it does not have a physical button like I have here, and that was the one thing. Other than that, I love it. If I had to tell you which one, I like the 1000 better than the SX3, but the SX3 is awesome too. There's nothing wrong with either one of those. You're talking about, yes, planning dated posts in the future. You can do that, or you can, like I said, it's a lot of posting. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I take pictures and post constantly when I'm out. I took pictures tonight prior to the show of the setup, so that I'm posting them. Anything that you can post, a picture of a crowd, post a picture of the crowd, wait till later. Show. I know guys that when they'll come into a place, like I said, again, this is about the mix DJ, and they'll do a shot. I did one a couple weeks ago on my Facebook page, if you go back and look, and I tagged all the brands that I use: Denon, Virtual, Cooler Caps, Pro X, UDG, all of those. I tagged them, and all it was a shot from this side up of the DJ gear and the computer. That's the kind of stuff that you can be posting. If you can't post anything else, post like that. Anything. Just keep it posting pictures, people dancing. If you're at a club and let's say there's not a whole lot of people there dancing, grab someone who's maybe talking with you, chatting with you. Hey, can I get a quick pic for social media? And a picture of you standing at the club, it's your DJ equipment, with someone standing here looking happy, can really go a long way. So stuff like that. Just Keep posting from your phone. Everything is from your phone nowadays. That's why I said that little girl said, I understand the difference between a computer and that. I think if I was correct, John said last year on Disc Jockey News that it was almost 90% of all of our traffic on all of our stuff was from a mobile device. 90% was all from a mobile device. So that's something to think about there. All right, so here's the question about Rekordbox and Serato. At this time, I don't know. I would have to go to Virtual site and see if Virtual has a map for the 1000 yet. I would have to go to Serato site and see if Serato has a map for the 1000 yet. That's the only way I could tell you because I haven't gone and looked at them. Some of the ones that they say are designed for Rekordbox do work with other softwares. Some don't yet. And that's one of the things that I think is kind of unusual that worries me about Pioneer stuff is that they're coming out with devices that people want, but people don't want to use their software, and they're kind of almost forcing people to try their software, and it's kind of alienating some people. Like if I said that I love that device and I absolutely wanted to buy it today, but it didn't work with the software that I use, I wouldn't buy it. They lost a sale. So I kind of worry about that they're doing that, but to look at that, you're going to have to go to whatever software you use, go to the websites, and they'll tell you whether it's compatible. Virtual comes up with theirs so quick. There's stuff that people will literally MIDI map their stuff and put it up there for people to have for free. So that stuff's out there. You'll just have to look. But I am concerned of Pioneers pushing Rekordbox the way they do, that it may end up not losing people, but having people at least that are currently on a device that want to get a new device, and they could have their money buying a new Pioneer device, and they're not, simply because of the software thing. So let's keep moving here. You do a show on 80s or 90s remix. Is that a question or could? Oh, could I? I see it there. I could, but again, the reason I was talking to one of the people when I was talking with Todd in his class, and I said, bring me some songs up that you do at your wedding in the order that you do them. And he pulled up a couple of older rock songs and stuff, and they were in the right BPM, and I didn't pick a remix, I didn't pick anything, and I showed him how that all songs are built virtually the same with the construction. That's why I think in my classes I teach so much that song structure is so important to the mix, because it's not necessarily all these different things. It's where the song is constructed and where you can lock those two pieces together. So to me, I'm not looking at an 80s song as an 80s song and how do I mix an 80s song. I'm saying an 80s song has a first verse and has a chorus and has a second verse and has a chorus and has a bridge and or whatever. And they all have that, whether it's a rock song, an 80s song, a 90s song, an EDM song, a reggae song, whatever. They all have that structure, and you just have to start tearing that apart and going, here's the first word of the first verse. I have to have this song playing by this point. Where do I begin? And that's where I always talked about when I showed some of the stuff on my mixing, how I break that down. I think that's probably one of the most important things. I could do a show where I look at the 80s and 90s stuff, but it's still going to be repetitive. So if you've watched a show or taken a class on how I've mixed stuff, that stuff fits any song whatsoever. So hope that helped there. Going on. Asked me to do a show. Yeah, Funny Wolf. For those of you who don't know, don't follow, I'm not a fan of country music, and Dave just dared Reggie to have me do a show on country mixes. My country remix show would be a picture of me not playing country music. That's the entire show. Not a video, no audio, just a picture of me not playing country music. So there you go. Okay, Wab says it does not work with Serato. Give it time, because I can't understand why that they would hold that away from Serato when so many people like it. If you can wait, give it time. But like I said, that's a situation right there where you're interested in it. I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to go to Rekordbox. I just don't want to. I mean, I have it on my studio computer, and I've tried it, and I play with it because I try to get to know all the software, but I'm not switching to it. So hope they come out with something soon here. Thank you, Robin, for agreeing with me that that's not going to happen. But I do have a couple country remixes that I play from time to time. They're not anything anybody else would play. If I could find that one, what's it called? Oops, I'm typing on the wrong page here. Sorry, I was typing over on that one. Yeah, this is it. It's a country singer, for those of you who know. His name is Luke Bryant. And it's the Country Girl remix of Country Girl Shake It For Me. I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to jump in further. Way far off a country, and it's just the way it should be. I'm going to jump to the chorus. Here's the chorus. Here comes, here comes, here comes. Best part. That's as close as I'm going to get to country, so I hope you like that. That's all the further you're going to get. Dave, you say where you live, again, it comes to areas. If you don't play country music, you don't work. I can tell you I DJ a lot in cities, and I live in Pittsburgh, and I DJ in Pittsburgh, and I will walk into places, and they will tell me, no country, no rock, play top 40. So it's about what is on top 40 for the majority of the places. As a mixed DJ, you're going to DJ. And when I talk about bars, people kind of get confused on this. The bars that I DJ in, you rarely have people over like 30 or 35 in there because it's about young people. So it's about what young people want to listen to, and that's all about Drake and Migos and stuff like that. That's what the whole thing is about. So depending on where you're at, you may live in an area like that, but you got to keep in mind that 50% of all Americans live within a 1-hour radius of a major metropolitan city, and the majority of the major metropolitan cities are not primary country. They do have some, so you may play a remix like that from time to time, but your primary songs are going to be what's on top 40 right now, what's on the Billboard charts right now, and that's going to be Drake, and it's going to be stuff like that. So depending on where you're at and what you're doing. But again, it's for the mixed DJ, and especially like, let's say you want to be an EDM mixed DJ. You'll never play a country song in your life. Never, ever, ever. Be a hip-hop mixed DJ. Never play a country song ever, ever. You might play Nelly, and that's going to come close to country as you can. You know, that's about it. Keep an eye on time. We're almost out of time here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying there aren't country music DJs, but I'm just saying for the majority of the people who watch this show, because like I said, it's about the mixed DJ, you're going to steer clear of those places. Like I said, you look in the city where I live right now. If you wanted to go out on a Friday or Saturday night and go to a place where DJ's playing country music, you literally have maybe, we're talking take a 30-minute circle around the city, you maybe have 2 places in the whole city you could go hear a country song being played. Not country all night, a country song played by a DJ. That's just what it is. What script do you filter duplicate songs with? The one I use, and I need to go through it again, but most of the time with Virtual, it has these plugins. One of them is called My Library, and I just shared it with Todd the other day that helped me kind of go through and find songs that aren't marked with the proper title, songs that aren't marked with the proper artist, or have never been scanned or don't have the right BPM. There's tools that do that for you within Virtual, but there's also stuff like MP3 Monkey and different ones like that that will let you go through, and you have to kind of write a script on a couple of them, and it'll find doubles, and it'll let you. And again, I encourage you to pick which one you want to delete, because you might delete one that you don't want. But that's kind of the best way to do it. And again, good example, that program doing stuff like that is part of your music library maintenance that I talk about. Take time to do stuff like it. It's not just about the songs and editing. It's about stuff like that. Like, why do I have three of the exact same copies of such and such a song? Because I'll find that. I'll look at it and I'll have 3 copies or 4 copies of the song, 2 MP3s and 2 videos. And I'm like, well, I only need one song and one MP3, 1 video. That's all I want, because I want to have the videos, because that's what I primarily DJ from. So I'm like, deleted. So sometimes you just do it while you're DJing, and you'll go, why is there 2 there? Maybe if you have time to preview real quick and delete it right there. But programs, like I said, MP3 Monkey and a couple other ones like that will let you do that. Moving on here, we're almost out of time. Do a show on slow hip-hop 40s tough to dance to. again, to this next generation, it's not hard for them to dance to it. It's not about you. It's not about what you like. It's what they like. So if a 70 BPM song gets them up and moving, that's all that matters. Find a remix, maybe something that has a little bit more pop to it, a little bit more jump, something that's sped up a little bit. See if I can find that one that I wanted to do there. Is that the one I want? I get this thing to type. Oh gosh, I can't really find the one I'm looking for here. We'll do this one. This was the song 4 or 5 Seconds. It was in one of the movies, what do you call it? Fast and Furious a while back, and it was really popular. And it's a really slow song, but I went out and found, because everybody wanted to hear it, it's on the charts, so you kind of had to go and look for something. So if you have something that's really slow and you need it to be something you can play, go out and find a remix version of it. Jumping in. The original song is so crazy slow, you wouldn't do that. The new one from Lady Gaga, if I can remember the name of the song, her newest one, Shallow. Really slow song, but was up on the charts, so you had to go and find a version of it. And usually I'll bump up the BPM on it a little bit. Can jump way up into her first. So it's not necessarily about what you think is a good song or danceable. You kind of have to play to the crowd sometimes and what they like, and you kind of have to hunt. Almost rarely do I download radio edits. I'll do, the versions that I download, or sometimes they're called extended versions, and what it is, it's the radio edit with an intro and an outro. And that's all it is. It's the plain, simple thing with intro and outro. Not necessarily a redrum, not necessarily a remix, but they'll just do an intro and an outro on it. And those are the kind of ones I kind of look for sometimes. The plain radio edits you don't use too often. I have a few that I do that I keep, a few that I mix up and change up, stuff like that. We're looking here. Yeah, so again, it's about doing your homework. Like I said, there's no shortcuts. I have to go out and dig for that. That one that I played, the 4 or 5 seconds, I look for so freaking long for that. I'm literally, it was 2 weeks of me looking to find a remix that I could play out places. Like right now, I'm trying to find a remix of Bohemian Rhapsody that I can play out at places. Because the movie's coming out and you have to play stuff. I found a couple versions that are okay, that aren't great. There's a couple that have intros and outros to where you can actually do a mix in and a mix out. But that's stuff you just have to hunt for and hunt and hunt. And sometimes you have to hunt on YouTube even, because there's songs that I could not find anything I liked whatsoever. Good example, we're going to go back to the country thing. I don't want to do this. I really hate talking about country, but this was a good example of a song that spent... if I can spell. Spent a lot of weeks on the charts, so I had to start playing it. And it was the Meant to Be song. And I obviously hate country, and I know a lot of people who like country would not call this a country song, which is fine, but it is. And I had to hunt for a version that I was willing to play. I'm going to jump in just a little bit here.
Lay on back and relax. Kick your pretty feet up on my dash.
And I'm going to jump in a little bit here.
All right. If it's meant to be, it'll be, ride with me.
Got a little bit of a kick to it. My favorite part's right here. Play something that I can play out in public, and I had to find a version that I could play out in public. This was the version. And this version came from YouTube. That's where I found it. I hunted, couldn't find anything I like. Found it on freaking YouTube. So... there you go. We are 5 minutes out of the top. I believe there is a show after us tonight, so make sure you stick around and check that out. As always, take some time to visit our sponsors. Take some time to click like, do a thumbs up, send a comment, send me a question, talk to me, that sort of thing. This show's about you guys and what you like. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of days I'll sit and wonder if I should keep doing the show because I'm not sure if anybody's getting anything out of it. I hope you are. I want you to. I want you to enjoy it and learn from it. So I'm kind of hoping that that you do get stuff out of it. But if there's stuff that you'd like to see me do, topics, send me a message. I'm on all of the social medias. You can hit me up on any of those you want, and I'll be able to answer that and talk about that if you want and bring that up as a topic. Vera L, if I'm saying that right, Vera L. I actually did a whole show on beginning scratches, how to start, like different ways to practice baby scratches and stuff. So this is again where I talk about. I already did a video on it. Look back; it wasn't that long ago, just a couple of months ago. Go to the Disc Jockey News YouTube page and search for intro to. I don't remember what it was called. Something about scratching. It was a music and mixing show like this, and it talks about what a baby scratch is and how to start using it and how to practice, because the rhythm of being on beat scratching is one of the toughest things for people to learn. And the show didn't get into stuff like transform scratches and stuff like that. It just basically talked about baby scratches and how to get good at the basics to start and different things you can do with that. So that's there for sure. So yeah, I'm just going to call it here. It's a show. It's officially a show. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Again, keep watching Disc Jockey News. Lots of stuff going on. Go visit our sponsors. John has some great interviews going on this week, so make sure you check some of the other videos before and after this show. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, all right? It's a crazy world out there. Take care of each other. God bless.